This is Lorena Oberg here, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between PR, advertising, social media management, and social media advertising. And these are all things that you need to be thinking about if you want to get clients for your business. So if I work within, for those of us that know me, I work within the beauty industry, and therefore a lot of what I say has to do with the aesthetic and the permanent makeup and beauty industries. So you've gone out, you've done your training, and you're ready to take on the world, and you need clients. So how are you going to do this? The first thing that you're going to have to consider is your budget. So I'm going to give you some background as to what works better on a budget, what you should be looking at, what you can do yourself. So let's start with the first thing, PR, public relations. So public relations is what legitimizes you as a professional. And it is when you see someone's name in a magazine or in an article, or you see that they're writing for medical journals, or it applies to sort of like any industry. So if you see that you're reading a magazine and one of your competitors has written an article or is mentioned in an article, all of this legitimizes you as a professional. And none of this really brings you clients as such. So to give you an idea, I'm in the Daily Mail a lot, and I'm constantly asked for quotes. We've had some fantastic articles that have been written purely about my work, and you would think that once I'm in the Daily Mail that the phone is ringing off the hook. Well, it doesn't. What it does do, it allows people to see what my work is, to have an idea. They might discuss it. I've had clients come to me 2-3 years later and said, oh, I saw you the first time in an article in this newspaper, that newspaper, and I kept it. I've had people pull the article out of their bags. It's really sweet. But ultimately, that's the odd few. The truth is that anytime that you're in the press, anytime you're writing for industry magazines or newspapers, your phone is never going to ring off the hook. This is just going to give you a platform as an expert in your field. So you're probably thinking now, right, okay, but I kind of like the sound of that. Bragging points, which it completely is. How do I get featured? Most countries, here in the UK, journalists use a feed, which is called response source. Sometimes they'll just call you because they're writing a story about what you do, your specialty, and they'll call you, which is why you need to also have a good website. But most of the time, what's going to happen is that they will post in a feed, and it's called PR fees, public relations fees, the journalist fees, feeds. So look under these terms on Google to see what's relevant in your country. They are expensive, but not as expensive as having a PR firm. So journalists will go in and they will type in, okay, I'm looking for someone that's had a divorce in the past 6 months that is willing to talk about it, or whatever the subject that journalist might be writing about. And you can contact the journalist directly and give them a good angle, and hopefully they'll choose to use you for their story. So that's a really good way if you want to do it yourself. Otherwise, there are really good PR companies out there, but make sure you get references, because they all tell you how wonderful they are. And ultimately, I'm very lucky. I have Becky, and we've been working together for years. But make sure you get references. It's better that you get a PR company from someone that's been using that particular PR company. And also, they are industry specific, so make sure that they're working in your industry. So the second thing is advertising. And advertising is when you pay and you get an ad. So you're going to be publications are going to call you all the time and promise you the earth. They're going to try to sell you ads in magazines, in newspapers, in local newspapers, etc., etc. The truth is that I think that personally, it's not good value for money, especially if you're just getting started. Some magazines, what I find are good is the leaflets, the little booklets that you get through the door. That tends to be better than if you advertise, or you take a half a page advertising in a big newspaper. That's going to be a one hit. You might get a couple of phone calls, but it's not going to be a lasting thing. And it's just, when you're first getting started, it's just not good value for money. So don't get involved with any of the advertising. Don't get involved with Yale.com. Don't get involved with advertising when you're so new. It's really not where you want to put your money. Where you want to put your money is social media. And now I'm going to explain two different things. There is social media marketing and there's social media advertising. So with social media marketing and management, or should I say social media management, that is when you take on someone to post on your behalf on your social media, on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, etc., etc. And they will do one post a day, and they will, or you can also do this yourself, of course. But a good way for you to think about it is, it's 25% of your post should be for selling, 25% should be educational, 25% should be about your lifestyle, and 25% should be inspirational or funny or something that people would chuckle at. So that's kind of how your social media management should be laid out. So if you're going to pay someone to do your social media management because you want them to have really professional posts, or you don't have the time, please understand that their job is just to post. It's not to get you followers. It's not to get you clicks. It's not to get you comments. Followers, clicks, and comments are not necessarily going to translate to money, or phone calls, or people calling you. And if you want to use your social media to get people through your door, to get your phone ringing, that's the main thing that I use, and that's called social media advertisement. And this is it's a whole science. And I have a company called busydiary.com where we take you from placing the ads all the way to booking people in for you. And everything is absolutely done for you. And what's great about that is that we generate the leads, we call the leads, we follow them up, we get your clients booked in, and then you don't have this defragmented situation where you are hiring a company that's generating leads for you, and you're either calling them or not calling them, or forgetting to call them, or hiring a school leaver or someone after school to call the leads, and they're burning them. By having a company that does your entire social media advertising, from generating those leads to booking them in, it is the best way for people to not pass the buck, because otherwise you end up in a situation where the people that are generating the leads are going to blame the people who are calling them, and the people who are calling them are going to say to you that they're not good quality leads and that they're doing their best, and when in fact they're just not very good salespeople or customer service people. So make sure that if you're going to hire somebody for social media advertising, they're doing the whole job, or don't waste your money, because you're going to end up having a situation where they're just going to be passing the buck from one person to the next. If you are looking to hire someone, and there is a skill, I mean, there's a sales funnel to social media advertisement. So it's about not just about boosting up posts on Facebook, although that does work. So if you can't afford to take someone on straight away, do post those posts and boost the posts on Facebook. It does work. Just the only thing, if you're going to do it yourself, make sure that you pick up your phone. Make sure that you answer those private messages, that you answer your emails. Because again, if you don't do that, you're just going to be burning your money. You want to make sure that those phones are being answered and those emails are being responded to. If you can't do that, if you're getting loads of leads through, but you find that you cannot be on the phone all the time, then pay someone like busydiary.com to just pick up the phones for you, because it's going to save you money. And if you don't pick up the phones, if it goes to answer phone, if it goes to a machine, you can guarantee that that client is going to go to the next person on social media, or it's going to Google and just go to the next clinic. And the person that picks up, the human that picks up the phone, is the human that's going to get that customer booked in. So if you put any money anywhere, do it on somebody professional to pick up the phone. It is cheaper to outsource than to hire some as receptionists to do it. If you're working on your own, outsource. And outsourcing could be have your grandparents pick up the phone, have your teenagers pick up the phone. When you're first getting started and you're in a very low budget, outsource to whoever you can. But as soon as you can afford to, get a virtual PA, a virtual assistant, receptionist to pick up that phone professionally. Because even if you're small, even if you're working on your own in a treatment room, the fact is that you will be judged from the moment that that phone is picked up. And that's how the client's going to make the decision whether to come in to see you or move on to the next person. So if busydiary.com, you can always go to the website. I'm going to put the website in the comments. Give us a call. We can always call you back and see what your needs are, where you are in the setting up process, or if you're simply just overwhelmed, you have a lot of work, but you don't want to get into the vicious cycle where you're busy, don't pick up the phone. So because you haven't picked up the phone, then you go dead. And you have to start marketing because you're dead. Then you start getting busy, and then you have this vicious cycle. And a virtual PA, a virtual receptionist, is the best way to not get into this vicious cycle that is very, very, very costly. So remember, just to recap, PR is public relations. This is when you're in the newspaper, you're writing articles, you're mentioned in magazines. This is not paid. Any sort of ads that you are going to be offered. You're going to be offered loads of this. Put an ad in this newspaper, or sign up to Yale.com, sign up to here, to there. Don't do any of that. When you're first getting started and your budget is precious, go into social media advertisement. Social media management. This is just a post a day in your social media with your before and afters, educating your client base, and things that are inspirational, etc., etc. And social media advertising, this is when you're actually capturing your clients' data. You're aggressively going after your clients that are interested in your services. You're capturing their data. You're calling them, answering any questions, and then you're remarketing to them through email campaigns. And that's an entire science. If you have any questions, just pop the questions in the comments section. And by all means, please subscribe to my channel. I do these little educational videos about every couple of days. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.